Well, hi again, everybody. Welcome into UnAnchored Boston with Bob Lobel. I'm Mike Lynch. And as always, we are brought to you by Cold Springs RV, your destination for all things camping and where? We're in New Hampshire, of course, and by the great George Gray. The big wheel, we call him, at George Gray's Lexington Toyota, 409 Mass Ave in Lexington.
Yeah,
Well,
50 Shades of Grey. He was a big part of 50 Shades of Grey.
He was he a big part of that movie?
Oh, I think so. He says he was, but
We're kind of giddy today. Because the Patriots had one of the most impressive wins that they have had in a long time, and B, because we have the person who is respected by all more than anybody who covers this team.
see, Karen, we're friendly, Karen. We want to be on your side.
Yep.
We love you, Karen. Okay.
All right, Bob Lobel, you always handle the formal introductions. You take it away, and I'll just.
I know Mass Live forever, Boston Herald forever, covered everything, all the teams, been to Super Bowl, every big event, Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics, World Series, you name it. Stanley Cup, Guregian's been there, Child of Chelmsford. I don't know. You go. Karen,
Proud child of Chelmsford. Yes.
The Lions.
Are you looking at your watch for? Are we holding
I'm
you up for anything?
No, it's just like there's always news breaking.
Well, I'm going to break some news. You were not at the game Sunday, right?
Not physically, no.
No, okay, that's what I'm saying.
And apparently that disappointed Mike Vrabel, who made
Well,
note of it
well,
after the game.
Well, this is good, Karen, because we know you were not at the game because of Mike Vrabel, and so we're going to hear that right now. Okay, can we just hear what Vrabel had?
Karen missed a good one. Well, I just, I'm proud of both of them. Being able to emotionally come back here for Steph and be into this thing all week. You're a really good leader for us, stack a couple really good games together. There's a lot of trust. And again, we're going to move the ball around, right? We're going to move the ball. Everybody helped us again tonight. And I think just a really gutty performance from Drake. Really just continue to enjoy watching him grow and lead this football team. And, it was good for us to again, would love to have a win by 2 scores, but being able to come back and execute in a critical situation, take the clock down, and win it on our terms.
So, Karen, he kind of let the cat out of the bag. Karen missed a good one. How about that? I mean,
he was busting my chops like he bust everyone. Yep.
I don't think you'd ever hear anything like that out of Belichick, right? First of all,
No
Belichick would. Belichick would never do anything.
And he wouldn't care if I was there or not. He'd probably prefer it if I wasn't.
But you got a great relationship with Vrabel. I mean, as good as a reporter-subject relationship can be.
Well, it's mostly because I covered him when he was a youngin', when he was a player. And so that gives us history.
Karen missed a good one. I love that. That line will go down in infamy.
Yeah, I'll never hear the end of that one. But
no, that's good. And you shouldn't. I think it's really.
I won't be there in wherever they're going to in New Orleans, but I will be there in Tennessee the following week. I'm going to surprise him. So
we're not keeping track. I just thought it was a good way to open up things and let you know we're on top of stuff.
Yeah.
What are you worried about? What's on Lynchy? I'll ask both of you guys. What are you worried about most about Drake May?
Aaron?
He'll get hurt. He gets hurt, they're sunk.
Right.
So that's it. He'll get hurt. But it's nice to be kind of along for the ride, to watch him mature, progress, and evolve into the quarterback everyone thought, or most people thought they were picking this guy 3rd overall. So it's fun to again watch him game to game, learn, and I can see mistakes he made in the past that he's not making anymore. So I mean that's a terrific sign right there. But it's also interesting to see how the coaching staff and Josh McDaniels and the offensive side of the ball, even Mike Vrabel, they're adapting to him and his strengths and the things that he does well. Again, you've seen it from week 1 to week 5. So as I said, it's interesting. It's fun to kind of watch that progression.
I do worry about the injury, Karen. I also worry about him, and he's been great at this, but he started out the season not like trying to force things that aren't there. Instead of just taking the sack, throwing the ball out of bounds, or doing anything, but trying to force something that's not there and risk turning the ball over.
Yeah, well, as you see, the last 2 weeks, he has not turned the ball over.
Right.
And you see him either getting rid of the ball to avoid the sack. He still has a hard time taking a sack.
He does. He does.
But as I said, you're seeing him do things again that he might not have done week 1. And again, that's the learning process, the learning curve, and he's doing his best not to be like a mistake repeater. So he's taking the coaching as well. So that's all good.
I was so wrong about him because I thought they should have taken J.J. McCarthy, but he can't stay on the field. And I'm not saying that's not going to turn around, but I thought if you're from Michigan and can beat Ohio State, and Ohio State, it's a lot better than from North Carolina beating NC State. So I'm just saying, I wasn't that high on Drake May, but I changed my mind. I was definitely wrong. And like I said, he's like a time bomb. The way he plays, and he's very aggressive. But if he goes down, they got nothing. Not like any other team in the league.
Well, I think perhaps the reason that any team would probably take him over McCarthy, which is just his raw skill set. He can throw it. He's got a great arm. He's mobile. He's athletic. He's tough, and he's smart. That doesn't necessarily guarantee success, but in this NFL, this day and age of the NFL, he's the prototype of a quarterback that you want without question. Again, I think you saw the reasons in the Buffalo game. That second half, I don't think there's a quarterback that could have played a better second half than he did. He avoided trouble. He was on the move, and a lot of guys could not have completed a lot of the passes that he made on the move.
Especially that miracle pass.
And he was accurate. And I almost think he throws better on the move than he does in the pocket. But as I was saying, in this NFL, the way the position has evolved, the drop back passers are becoming dinosaurs because, again, this type of athletic quarterback, poses so much more trouble for defenses to defend. The problem and the reason why, you'll always have pocket passers is because these mobile guys get hurt because they're on the move and they get hit. They're outside of the pocket and they think they're tough, and sometimes they don't go down.
Plus, he's got Stephon Diggs, which is a great weapon, which can bail out a quarterback who's running out of real estate. He's got about 1/4 of the field in front of his visual in front of him, and he's pretty close to going out of bounds and just throwing the ball away. But Stephon Diggs can make a questionable decision look like a good decision.
Well,
Right.
one game does not make a team or a season or a career. And Stephon Diggs seemed to be highly motivated going back to Buffalo.
No question.
Yeah. Even though he loves everyone there and everything about the place, but that's beside the point. What I liked watching May and Diggs most was Diggs already knows if Drake's running around, where to go or
Yeah.
where to be for him. And they seem to already click in that way. And that's something that Brady had with a bunch of his guys, if plays break down or where to go, what to do. And a lot of guys couldn't figure that out. But Diggs is a veteran. He's smart. He understands route running, and he understands spots to be in zones that are friendly for quarterbacks. I mean, you saw it in spades. But the other part of watching him Sunday night was he showed a level of quickness that we hadn't seen
Yes.
in the earlier games, and him not having that quickness in the early games made some of us say, well, he's barely a year removed from ACL. Maybe it's going to take more time. Maybe he's not there yet, or maybe he just won't get back to a certain level. But the Diggs we saw Sunday night was pretty darn good in terms of catching the ball, making moves, avoiding defenders. I mean, he's not a true number one like Jefferson with Minnesota. I mean, he's not going to blaze down the field and beat coverage that way, but he's going to beat coverage with this up here.
Right. Both did it together.
Like you and I are in sync.
Bob, this is our brain we're talking about.
That's why I'm wearing the ghost. Bob's missing.
But he's savvy, he's smart, and he's quick enough to get to spots, and he's quick enough to do something after catch. That's what we saw. Will we get that next week? I'm dying to see. Or was it just a one-time deal because he was really motivated to stick it to Buffalo?
He was asked right after the game, was this personal? Definitely. You didn't get the canned PR safe response, and like, I miss not covering the team now because we all had a go-to guy, and Diggs, when he's on, he's a go-to guy in the locker room.
You
just want to be invited to his next party on his boat. That's all. Listen, both of you guys have been around and know the heart and soul of Boston sports fans. And it's kind of an ebb and flow. There was the Bruins that dominated the city. There were the Celtics that dominated the city. The Red Sox had their turn at dominate. But then in 1 week, with the win on Sunday, the Patriots have totally wiped the Red Sox out of everybody's mind. And it's just kind of remarkable and amazing to me. I guess it's obviously why it happened, but it's still remarkable to me that the National Football League has become such a dominant factor in so many of these cities that everything else is now in second place or third or fourth or whatever.
Absolutely.
I thought your point was we're a bandwagon city and we just jump on the popular.
Well, that's not that is part of that is true. I mean, that's true everywhere.
That's not true with Bruins fans, though.
Oh no, I agree. They're lockstep all the time.
I've seen like Bruins fans are, whether they're good, bad, or are indifferent, they're hockey fans.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I haven't quite seen it with the Bruins, but it kind of, the ebbs and flows are definitely around, especially with the Red Sox and the Patriots.
Speaking of, I'm just peeking at this Patriots schedule here, and there aren't many definitely losable games on this schedule.
It is pretty soft.
Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay's a good team. They play down there.
The next three teams, I believe, are one.
New Orleans, right? New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland.
Yeah, I think Cleveland. Is Cleveland?
Cleveland's here.
Atlanta's 2-2. The other teams those other three teams are 1-4, I believe.
It's just New Orleans. All of a sudden, everybody had given up on New Orleans, and they came out big this last weekend. So and all those, between Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Buffalo losing, that, I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
I would say the AFC looks pretty wide open, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Burrow going down kind of took Cincinnati out of it. I still think, I don't know. I still think Buffalo is fine, is okay. Kansas City, it was interesting watching them lose again.
Yeah.
To Jacksonville.
What a big game for Jackson. What a big game for Jacksonville and that quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that was huge.
I love the touchdown. How many times can you fall down on your derriere, get up, fall down again, get up, and scoot into the end zone? I think that was like a trick play.
Honest to God, you know, the guard stepped on, or the center of the guard stepped on his foot. So he fell, and everybody, you know, usually linebackers, they might be keying on guards. So if those guards were pulling, going the other way, they're all going with the guys that are pulling. And he gets up and goes, "There's nobody. If I just run this way, there's nobody over here."
But he got up, couldn't get up, went back down, got up again, and then it's like, I mean, I could have scored from there, but it was fun to watch.
So, Karen, let's just jump back to the Patriots, and I want to also ask you about, of those three teams, Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Kansas City, that lost this weekend, who is the best among those three? And go ahead.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia is still
Great. Yep.
the top dog, so to speak. But I think, you know, the NFL's wanted parity for the longest time, and I think there's just a bunch of good teams who can, on any given Sunday, hello Patriots, beat a better team.
Mike and I both thought they were going to get 8 wins. Wasn't that, Mike? You and I both thought 8?
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah.
I had them at 9. I had them at 9.
And
it was based on a couple things. One, the schedule.
Yeah.
You know, and 2, I really thought that Vrabel would have an impact. And whereas there were some games they lost last year that perhaps they would have won with better coaching, I don't think you'll have that problem this year. I think.
So let me ask this, Karen. Why did the Patriots waste a year not hiring Mike Vrabel and hiring Gerard Mayo? I know about the trip to Israel, and I know, you know,
because it was in his contract.
So with Tennessee?
No.
Cleveland?
No, Gerard Mayo. The reason they went with Gerard Mayo because it was written in his contract that he would succeed Bill Belichick.
It had nothing to do with the trip to Israel.
Well, Robert saw the light there with Gerard Mayo. And again, what they didn't factor in, and again, everyone can dump on Gerard Mayo all they want, but he had never been a head coach.
Right.
Number one. Number two, he had only been an assistant coach for about 4 or 5 years. He had no connections with people to bring in. And he also inherited the worst roster in the NFL. I mean, it was destined to fail no matter what.
Well, you don't blame Gerard Mayo, you blame the people that hired him.
I blame the people who hired him and the people who got out of town and left the roster in a shambles.
So it brings me to the next question. Who's the worst owner in town? Is it Kraft? Is it Jacobs? Or is it Henry? Don't bail on me here.
But why do we need a worst?
Okay, well, of the three, which is the best of the three?
First of all, under Robert Kraft, you have 6 championships. So putting worst next to his name is kind of ridiculous. Under John Henry, you have 4 World Series titles. So putting worst next to his name also sounds a little ridiculous. Jeremy Jacobs 1, 2, but he's gone the longest, I would say. And not, being an owner who was just kind of content to make the playoffs and get the home gate, as opposed to really sinking money into the organization and winning Stanley Cups.
That's a great answer. Really good.
Sorry. Well,
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
it's what I think. I know what you want me to say,
No,
but
I know. You don't know what I
I'm
want you
gonna
to say.
tell it
I didn't want.
all
No,
like
I
it
want.
is.
You said
It's
exactly
a
what.
good answer to a dumb question, right?
Oh, Mike, that is really unfair. Who's a better coach, Belichick or Parcells?
Belichick.
Why?
I think. Well, he won 6 Super Bowls. He appeared
Oh,
in
come
10.
on. You know what? Brady won the Super Bowl. We've been down this road.
Yeah, well,
100.
Parcells won with a couple of quarterbacks that weren't anywhere near Tom Brady.
Yeah.
In New York.
Right.
So
And
that was a dumb answer, Mike. If my question was a dumb question, then that was a dumb answer.
and he got the Patriots to a Super Bowl pretty quickly. So, and well, again, I have a lot of respect for Belichick as a coach, defensive mind. But as we were all reminded, I went to the Hall of Fame ceremony for Parcells and Julian Edelman. Much of what Belichick inherited were draft picks of Bill Belichick from first wave of Super Bowls. Most of his defense came from Parcells. Adam Vinatieri came from Parcells. So
why isn't he not in the Patriots Hall of Fame?
Who?
Vinatieri.
Because the fans voted Edelman.
Oh, come on, don't give me this crap about the fans voted. If Kraft wanted him in, he'd put him in.
Well, it was his first year on the ballot. He'll get in.
Please.
Robert, there's not always like something lurking in the closet. Sometimes wrong things happen. It's like a popularity contest. Who do you think is going to be more popular, Julian Edelman or Adam Vinatieri?
I get it. I understand.
Tell me. So there doesn't have to be a conspiracy.
Listen to me. You know how important. No, we know how important Edelman was. The fact that he went to Kent State, even ups the ante. Okay, that's number one. Julian Edelman, Kent State University. Okay, the Golden Flashes. I get it.
We are Kent State.
We are Kent State. Okay, that's fine. But who has been more important to this franchise other than Brady than Adam Vinatieri? Who has done more for this franchise?
Robert, if you ever read what I write, ever, you will have known that when that ballot came out, I wrote Adam Vinatieri is the guy.
Okay, well, that's good.
I wrote all the reasons why Adam Vinatieri deserved. Again, Julian Edelman deserves to get in, but on this particular ballot, Adam Vinatieri had to go in first.
Okay, maybe we should look at the system. Maybe the system is flawed, and maybe we're making too much about getting into Hall of Fames and all that other stuff.
Yeah, they are kind of ridiculous now.
Well, Robert doesn't think about the National Football League Hall of Fame. It seems to be the
golden. We said it for 364 days, but when the day arrives that the inductees are enshrined, it's really a special day.
It's great. I love those.
Yeah.
I love them. I've gone to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they're terrific.
They are.
I mean, and then they bring a lot of the old players back, and they all sit and chat and talk on stage, and it's just if you're a fan of the Patriots from any era, going to these Hall of Fame events is well worth it.
It is. It is. I will say that everyone bitches and moans. Oh well, it's a farce. So and so Parcells and that. But when you get there, no matter who it is, getting enshrined and putting on that red jacket, It's just pretty. It's a
Aren't
pretty
you going to go down the contributor road again, Mike? This is your, they're
No,
going.
I'm not going to go because I don't think.
No. I want Karen to hear this. I mean, she probably has heard it before. You've said it every time we do a show about talking about the Hall of Fame.
I'm out of my mind that the Bill Parcells goes in as a contributor. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame.
Dante Scarnecchia, contributor.
Dante Scarnecchia, contributor. No, they're coaches. Why does the word contributor have to be associated? Does that mean that, well, they didn't get voted in, so they're a contributor? You know, Bill Parcells contributed as much to this franchise and the success it's had over the past quarter of a century or more than
Right.
anybody. And he is much more than a contributor. And I think it's a slap in the face to him and to a guy like Dante Scarnecchia. Now, Gil Santos, I can live with him being a contributor because he contributed to the popularity of the team. He was the voice of the team, blah, 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 blah. But not Parcells, not Scarnecchia.
Well, the way it's set up,
I know.
with the fans voting, your gripe is with the fans who vote.
No, I'm gripe is with the system. That's my gripe.
Well, it's imperfect.
Well, come up with a better one. You're in charge. You got the power. Mike and I have no power anymore. We're lucky that anybody recognizes us anymore.
I'm on the nominating
People
committee.
don't even know who Lynch and Lobel are anymore. So you got the power. So go use it.
I'm on the
nominating
committee. I haven't been
committee.
for the last 3 years.
I'm on the nominating committee.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the process that comes up with the 3 names that the fans vote on. But
Karen,
that's
look
the
at the
extent of
system.
it.
You can devise a system. You can become Karen Guregian's Hall of Fame system. If you
I am
go in and
not
talk,
in charge.
sit down with you can be. Take charge. You're tough enough. You prove it every week how tough you are. You
Hey,
prove
I
it
have-
on this show.
I have
Go
a tough
get 'em,
enough
Karen.
time
Go sit
showing
down
up
with
for the
Robert. What are you going to do? What's this? Wait a minute.
I have a tough enough time showing up for the road game so Mike can call on me. So
What's going to happen to this franchise when Jonathan takes over?
I don't know. You have a crystal
come
ball?
on, Karen. You must have an opinion.
I think things will run just as they've run because I think he's doing a lot of the running right now.
It has been for a while.
Mm.
Yeah.
So no, nothing different.
You ever go camping, Karen?
Me?
Yeah.
In my youth.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. Somewhere in New Hampshire. Probably a few New Hampshire places. Why? Are we going camping? Are we going camping?
You know what? You just calm down, Karen. Let me get to why. Because one of our important sponsors is Cold Springs RV.
Woohoo!
Karen, come on. You're going to jump on this bandwagon here. Where did you go to? What did you do? Kind of go overnight camping? Did you have an RV? Did you have one of those?
I put up a tent.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
I like legitimate camping.
And not with your AC with color TV and
legitimate.
Both of you just shut up so I can do the commercial that's keeping us moving here.
Well, do you want to hear a funny story?
Well, if you got one, I'd love to hear it.
Well, it was me and camping. So we went a couple of friends and we all put up our tents. I put up a tent. A friend of mine was with me in the tent and we're all good, except it started to really rain. Okay. And during the course of I'm going, the tent's over me. Why am I wet? Why am I wet? Well, the tent was not level. It kind of was, this way, and I was on the bottom, so I got soaked. And I'm saying, oh, I gotta get up, get out of here. And my friend's saying, I'm not wet. I got soaked, so I wound up sleeping in the car.
See, this is perfect.
You didn't watch Dick Albert because Dickie would have told you it was going to be raining wherever you were going.
Right. So what I was trying to say is I put the tent up, but it wasn't on level ground.
Yeah.
So
see, this is the parable here, is that this is just like the Hall of Fame system. You changed the system to make it work for you. You had the power to change that system. They're all the same. If it's not working for you, you're not going to get wet. you're gonna make it dry, and you change the system. You change what to something that was wrong to something the way it should be.
Right. I changed. I slept in the car.
Okay, I'm just saying it was part of the. Okay, you're just not.
Like Beth Page, like you're golfing at Beth Page Black. You slept in the car overnight and put your ball in the queue, and you were ready to go. You probably couldn't get out of there.
I want the commercial. Come on.
All right, it's all about camping, and then what's new in 2026, which is, right around the corner. Cold Springs RV, next year's models, and they're arriving daily. Check out the latest in pop-ups. I assume that's what you had, was a pop-up. It just popped up in the wrong direction. Travel trailers, fifth wheelers, motorhomes. Tell them Lobel, Lynch, and Karen Guregian sent you. I'm sorry, I just added your name because thumbs up for that. That could put us over the top on this one. Cold Springs RV, the doors are always open and you can freely browse. Latest in camping, get to Cold Springs RV, your destination for all things camping. Do you know where they are?
Where?
They're in Ware, New Hampshire.
Where?
Which is north of Tingsboro and west of Goffstown. Do you know where Goffstown is?
I've golfed in Goffstown.
Really? I have too.
I think I skied there. Is Crotched Mountain close to there?
No, Mike. Crotched Mountain is like no.
No, I think it's close to.
There's a Mount Uncanutic, which is right outside of Goffstown, but it's not Crotched Mountain.
I'm going to dispute that. But,
well, no. ColdSpringsRV.com. Okay, thank you, Karen, for indulging us. Okay, can we go back to the Bruins for just a second?
Can I ask a question first?
Oh, okay, Mike, go ahead.
I love it when you fight over me.
Well, you know what? That's exactly what's happening. This is
good.
Thank you for. By the way, thank you for giving us the opportunity, making time for us this week. How's your podcast going? Okay, Mike, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Can I ask the question?
Stonebridge Golf Clubs in.
That was the place. Yes.
Yeah, Mike, ask the question.
Who went to Stonebridge?
That's the way they played golf in Goffstown.
Oh, in Goffstown. I think I skied Crotched Mountain. It was very close to Goffstown.
Fine.
I don't know. All right, Karen. You
don't ask me a geography question.
It won't be a geography question. You get to take the Lobel Lynchy cruiser when Cold Springs RV visits it. You know the deal. You get to ride cross country. But since we're talking about a very good coach right now in Mike Vrabel, who was a defensive guy, I want you to look at all the people you've covered, opposing teams who were defensive people that you would have a fun time riding cross country with, and we'll fly you back to Chelmsford from there. So think of all the people you covered that were. It could be alive, deceased, 20 years
like
ago.
Coaches? Did you say?
Oh, you can be a coach or a player.
Oh. Well, if I want to have fun, it would probably be Peyton Manning.
Nice.
Good one.
I like that.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? Great one. Great one.
If I was thinking if it's like somebody on the Patriots team, I was going to expand the horizon. Like I would invite Drake and his three brothers, because I'm sure the stories would last the whole way cross country.
I'd like that a lot too.
And his three athletic brothers, and he's the youngest, of course.
And
I would enjoy listening to the stories. So
you'd be driving, and
and
they'd be acting like brothers. They'd be like, hitting each other on the head, throwing stuff.
Right. I might have to break up a few fights. Yeah. But
the good thing about the Cold Spring RV is that it has shock absorbers, so it's level. So if it rains while you're like camping, like nothing's going to come in. It'll be nice and level.
So that would be helpful to people like me. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I've never went camping outside of 16 Banks Road in Swampscott, and I don't think
Main Streets of Swampscott.
When I heard the first owl or something, I was bang in the house.
There's no owls in Swampscott.
I don't know
why would an owl go there? An owl looks for. All right. Can you believe the Bruins? The National Hockey League starts on Tuesday, and the Bruins start on Wednesday. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, weirdo me, watched one of their preseason games against the Flyers.
That is really odd.
That makes Bruins fans, and you were a Bruins fan before you became a member of the
Yes.
media.
Yes.
They're the only ones that watch every preseason game like it's a regular season game.
Except when I saw and didn't recognize a soul.
Well,
out
what were
on
the
the
Red
ice.
Sox fans? They didn't know anybody either that played on the team.
So I said, "Oh God." Although I covered Marco Sturm.
No.
Another
Terry,
one.
who's the best coach the Bruins have ever had? I'm going to ask you a series of questions about the Bruins. Who's the best coach they've ever had?
Harry Sinden.
Thank you. I agree. Good one. Okay. What's the story about him saving your life?
Oh, did I tell you that story?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm not as stupid as I look and act sometimes.
It's a long story.
Well, shorten it.
I'm happy to share it.
If you can shorten it, it'd be helpful.
This isn't like 6 o'clock news where we get 2.5 minutes, and we can go as long as we want.
All right. So I was covering the Bruins beat for a while. And I don't know, I was kind of ill for a little while and I missed a little time. And in that time, I was trying to find out why I was coughing like a crazy woman. So my brother actually took me to an emergency room. And I wound up going to a lung specialist because my CAT scan did not look very good. And the lung specialist local told me he thought I had sarcoidosis, a classic case of sarcoidosis, which is a lung disease prevalent in the South. But anyway, when the guy told, it was textbook. My CAT scan looked exactly like what's in this medical book, what my lungs look like. Anyway, I'm back at practice at Restucia, sitting in the stands, and Harry pulls up next to me. And he said, "Hey, I know you've missed a little time. How you doing?" So I explained the story to him. I told him what they thought I had. And he looked at me and said, "Well, what's wrong?" And I said, "Well, I don't believe it." So he said, "Pull out your notebook, write down what they told you, give me the paper." He goes, "My secretary, Dale, will call you in the afternoon." So again, he took a piece of paper with sarcoidosis on it. That afternoon, his secretary calls and says, "Harry got you an appointment at Mass General with," it happened to be their surgeon, Ashby Moncure. But anyway, okay. So then Harry gets on the phone and basically said, "I've been looking up this sarcoid," he looked up sarcoidosis. And, he said, "Well, the worst thing that can happen to you is you go blind. So that's not too bad, whatever." But I was more taken with the fact that he cared enough to A, research it, and 2, get me into Mass General. I did go to Mass General. I saw Ashby Moncure, who was a surgeon and a very good one. And he looked at my CAT scan and he said, "Yeah, but that's not my expertise." So he said, "If I were you, I would see the top lung specialist here." And I said, "Well, can I just walk in?" He said, "No, I'll make you an appointment." It was for the next day. There was urgency in there because what I wound up having was not sarcoidosis. It was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Right.
And I wound up stage 4B. There's no 5. So Harry getting me into Mass General basically helped save my life.
Wow. What a great story.
I love it, Cam.
No,
We love
it's
you too.
really kind of tearing up here hearing that story.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So you could have been just, okay, it's soccer, whatever it was, and just
That doctor said, "Oh, come back in 6 months."
You could have been dead.
Yeah, I could have been dead. I was that advanced and the type of cancer that I
God,
had.
thank God for Harry, huh?
Yeah. And again, it blew my mind. It's like he had me write what it was on a piece of paper, and he actually researched, looked in books what it was, got me in, and basically was trying to tell me, don't worry, don't worry.
We
Well,
got this. So
yeah,
let me ask this question right now. Do you currently feel as good as you look right now?
I do. I
Good,
do.
good.
I am 34 years removed. I mean, I'm going through the Hodgkin's lymphoma battle took
Yeah.
a little while. I wound up in Nebraska having a one of the first ever stem cell transplants.
Wow.
Really?
But I'm living walking proof that anything is possible.
Absolutely.
That's,
I'm
I'm
so happy.
I'm
Now,
glad.
we all knew this. We knew that you were sick and you fought a courageous battle, but I didn't ever knew the backstory about Harry's son. That's incredible. That is incredible.
Well, no wonder you think he's the best coach.
It has nothing to do with it.
Okay, who's the best goaltender they ever
I
had?
look out the window here. He lives like 2 blocks away from me over there, so I may drive by the guy's house and honk the horn tonight.
Who's the best goaltender they ever had? Or at least during your time?
Yeah, I was going to say Mr. Zero, but that's Brimzik. Oh, during my time?
Of course.
Yeah. God, I saw a lot of good ones. It's so weird. He wasn't great here, Bill Ranford, but he was great in Edmonton when he won them Stanley Cups. I'd have to probably go with, oh God, Jerry. I didn't cover Jerry Cheevers. I did cover
in your lifetime. You watched him a lot.
I did cover Tim Thomas. I'd probably put him, but I loved Reggie Lemelin.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be Tim Thomas.
I agree, man. That's unbelievable. Well, the Harry Sinnen and Tim Thomas was exactly what I would have said.
Bob, you're making that up.
I'm not making it up. Did I know Harry saved your life? I'm not making it up.
Yeah, somehow you knew to ask me about the story, though. Somebody had to tip you off.
Well, you know what, Karen? I'm a reporter too, although I hardly remember. I was thought more of an entertainer than a reporter, and I'll gladly admit it.
I don't mind sharing that story. I enjoy. I'm glad. I tell lots of people that story. But I didn't want to,
What about you, Lynchy? Best coach, best goaltender?
Well, Cheevers of my lifetime. Did I cover Cheevers? I think so. I started I was in ITS Channel 5 in 1982. I would have to go with Cheevers. They had some guys that really had some great runs. Pete Peters was good. Gilles Gilbert.
Andy Moog.
Good goaltender.
Andy Moog.
Andy Moog.
Andy Moog. Him and Lemelin were a really dynamic duo.
Yeah. I
covered them.
They was Moog 88 and 90, or was he just one and then who's from guys who was with the other year? Because they had 2 different coaches. O'Reilly coached 1 year, Milbury coached the other year.
Right.
88 and 90. I was at all those games.
Yeah. That was my prime covering time. The O'Reilly years and then beyond that.
Why would you pick Tim Thomas?
Where what?
Why would you pick him?
He won. And he was largely responsible for them winning that year. I mean, he got hot in the playoffs. There's no question. So
that may be the best 3 weeks I've ever seen any athlete play in Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have guys who have had great regular seasons and look great, and then in the playoffs kind of didn't do much.
Right.
Who are the best announcers you liked? Who are the best announcers they ever had?
Oh, well, Fred Cusick, John Pearson.
It's a great duo. TV. What about radio?
Bob Wilson.
Not a girl. Right on
Magic
top.
pipes. Yep.
Great
Unbelievable.
pipes. You know what the name of his boat was?
Bob Wilson?
Yeah.
No.
Big Mouth.
Yeah, he was on Winnipesaukee. He did. That's exactly right.
I used to work at WITS with him. He had his own office, which
Mhm.
he never set foot in, but he had it all decorated. A picture of his wife, and then he had a picture of his boat and it said Big Mouth. And he's standing there holding up some fish. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, Bob Wilson I'm Bob Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson
Pipe.
always had his. Some people have a game voice only during games. Bob Wilson had the game voice
All
24.
the time. Yeah. I love Cusick's voice too, though.
Oh my God.
He's really understated, but Johnny Pearson they were such a great duo.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
But that was TV versus radio. It's a whole different
true.
deal.
But think of all the announcers during that time too. Like the Red Sox was Ken Coleman. Was that his Ned Martin, that era?
Yep. Ned Martin, Jim Woods.
Johnny Mose.
Santos.
Yeah.
No, they were great. That was a golden era for sure.
Yeah.
But there was nothing like Fred. Fred was just he had a silk voice. I mean,
Silk. That's a good description. Yeah.
silk voice. I always thought, and he was something. And Johnny Pearson, they'd get to a playoff game, and Johnny would have to go to a furniture convention somewhere. He missed like
That's right. Right. You're right. Absolutely right.
he had to go put a bid on some a warehouse full of
So
furniture.
true. So Karen, you and I talked about this project that we had going on called Front Row, and you were skeptical because it's something that Lynchy and myself and Dan Shaughnessy and Bob Ryan signed up for us. Front Row and the theory behind it is our takes on moments that we've had and covered in Boston sports. And you and I talked about it, and we never came to an agreement. But I wanted you to see what it was all about. So we have like a minute and a half or something to give you an idea what it is, because we still want you part of this. And I'm not asking you to commit it. So I just want to. This helps explain what this is about. And I know you're reticent to do this because you didn't want to have to give up any secrets, conversations, sources, whatever. I get it. I mean, you're still in the game. We're not.
Right.
You're still in the game. But can we show you the video?
Hopefully it's the start of a successful long career.
Well, continued success. I hope it works out great for you.
One of the dumbest things anybody's ever said to anybody. Good luck. I hope it works out for you.
I've got these books here. I don't even have to take the book out of my shelf to tell you what he wrote in the acknowledgments. Usually the acknowledgments, thank my coach, my family, my kids, all this, and he does all that. And he says, if you had told me a year ago that I would be doing a book with Dan Shaughnessy, I would tell you that will happen when a 200-pound hog jumps out of my ass.
When I did the book with Larry, I got Magic to do the foreword, and Magic's the great lasting line was about there were other players I admired and respected. There's only one player I feared, and that was Larry Bird.
The one thing I heard about Pedro is that he was a man of his own mind. He would leave, during a game, he'd leave the clubhouse, go walk over on Lansdowne Street, go into one of the stores or go into one of the bars during the game.
That's great, Bobby.
Okay, so we want you part of it. I just don't have to tell.
I'm not even in that conversation. I mean, I haven't written any books. The only thing I have in common.
Hey, look, I haven't read any, so what difference does it make?
I'm old.
You got to read one before you can write one.
That's about it. I'm not this esteemed author like Shaughnessy and Bob Ryan.
Well, look at the two guys you're sitting next to here in this podcast. We're not, okay, one went to Harvard, but he's not exactly Mensa quality.
Oh,
I have fairly modest upbringing, Apple Creek, Ohio, Kent State University, on and on.
You and Julian Edelman.
Right.
When
Thurman Munson, okay.
That interview with Tom Brady was done the Thursday before his first start, as a Patriots quarterback, because the previous Sunday was when Mo Lewis knocked out Drew Bledsoe, so he now was elevated as the starter. And so at the end of the interview, I said, "Well, good luck to you. I hope it works out for you." What a stupid thing to say.
Well, not at the time, Mike. I have to defend you here.
Well, you look back at it now. It looks
Well, yeah, but you can always do that to anything. You can always go back and
Well, yeah, one of my all-time best takes is now in a book for all-time stupid takes.
which is
Well, that's the best of all, Karen. It's always great to be self-deprecating.
When when Kraft sent a first-round pick to the Jets for Belichick,
thumbs down.
I wrote this whole thing. It's like he's not worthy of a first-round pick.
Well, I think we need to include that in this. This is part of the front row. This is part of what fans want to see. What you
I get a call from a guy who's doing the stupidest takes book, and he said, "Ask for my permission." It's in the book.
fit right in. And the Shaughnessy Francona thing is pretty funny.
Yeah. 200-pound hog, is that what 200-pound?
Just a total Francona. I mean, so now you see, Karen, it's pretty harmless and it's for the fans. They would love that Belichick story, that thumbs down. That shows that people are human. We'd rather hear the mistakes than the good stuff.
Yeah, I said Kraft needed his head examined to bring that guy in.
Good.
I don't know. I don't look too stupid now, though.
No, you don't. Do we want? All right, let's just get into this for maybe 5 minutes or so. What the hell? You know what? Let me read this. Let me read the spot first. Hey, if you're thinking about a new car, go where Lobel and Lynch go. Go see our good friend George Gray at George Gray's Lexington Toyota. We've been customers for years because we know that George Gray will treat you right. They're a family-owned and operated dealership that we trust and you can trust as well. So go see the big wheel, George Gray at George Gray's Lexington Toyota, 409 Mass Ave in Lexington. And do we have that picture with George Gray with some other guy, Keelan? I know it's usually pretty handy if we put it up there. We can't figure out who the other guy is, but one guy is George Gray. It probably wasn't fair of me to say, do we have that picture?
No, it wasn't, Mike. That was really no.
There it is. Right. Look at Keelan. Look how fast she gets it. It's George Gray with a white mustache. We still have not been able to identify the other guy, but I think he was pretty big in Swampscott sports. I mean, Boston sports.
Oh my God.
Pretty big in Ontario sports too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All right, Bill Belichick.
Perry Center.
What? I don't know how much we want to get into this, talk about it, but it seems like every day he is putting his foot in his mouth or in his brain or doing something. Now the latest that nobody can post any good words or good wishes to a fellow Tar Heel, Drake May. This is unconscionable, isn't it?
Well, after the outrage, they changed that narrative. So they've since put out, look what Drake May did and other Tar Heels as well. But yeah.
Hulu canceled the documentary.
Yes, that just happened too. Yep. And now there's talk that he might not last the year there.
I know. What
it would be costly, but I don't know. North Carolina.
How embarrassing would that be? You think he would walk out, or they would have to fire him?
They would have to fire him.
How embarrassing would that be?
Well, is it any more embarrassing than right now, Bob?
No.
No, not allowing Patriot scouts to come to practice. There are 31 teams that come to practice. I've got a friend who lives down there, and one of his kids. Everybody runs the stadium steps all the time, but he put chain link fence around and canvas, and I didn't think he went as far as barbed wire, but all the people used to enjoy running exercise, running the steps of North Carolina Stadium can't do it anymore. I just don't get it. I mean, we all knew he was a different guy. I think that I thought he was socially challenged. when I did the show with him. I think that's a polite way to put it. But this is beyond belief. I don't even want to get into the girlfriend, forget all that. But I'm just talking some of these things. You just scratch your head and say, why? What good does it do? You know, I mean, I don't get it.
Well, I just think his ego has gotten the best of him.
What was the other one? Well, it's great down here. You don't have to. I think he said it to Ben Bolin. You don't have to deal with an owner and his son.
Mm.
And beyond belief. I mean, there was never. It's like one thing would come from Robert seems to have stopped on the. Take that, take this, take that. Robert seems
winning. That's why he's winning. That's why he's getting the statue ready. Bill
Yeah.
That was, do you think that's ever going to happen? Should it happen? Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. Got me on that. I don't know.
Let's give the guy credit at some point. The reality is that, he only child, son of a coach. His mother was extremely bright and could speak a number of foreign languages. And, you don't know what kind of pressure he was under. And he probably was, people age. Hey, no one knows it better than the two guys that are with you. People age.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Okay, people age, memories change. Sometimes people age faster than others. I'm just saying, there may be some of that going on. I mean, your ego. You're right about the ego. The ego probably overrides everything. He probably thinks he's still a great coach. He probably thinks he can still walk on water if Jordan asked him to walk on water. Yeah, so the ego unfortunately does get in the way.
Well, I mean, I don't know. How else do you explain even some of the stuff that happened here? Putting Matt Patricia in charge of the offense. I mean, but again, it's ego, it's arrogance. Well, any coach can coach, or deciding not talking to his quarterback was a good idea. Mac Jones.
Yeah, well, Mac's kind of had a resurrected career himself out in San Francisco.
Beautiful. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Does it remind you about the demise of Bobby Knight a little bit? Down to Texas Tech, and he had a good team at the beginning, but then just everything he said was the wrong thing to say.
Well, how about Patino? There's another one right there.
Yeah, well, he's come back in college and taken teams to pretty good, but it's sad to watch because the guy was it walked on water as you just said, and
no one's going to remember the legacy, and nobody. Again, now it's already shifted. It was all Brady. Brady wouldn't have done anything well with Brady. Well, that's right, but you have to give Bill his props for his defensive mind and the game strategies he came up to diffuse the greatest show on turf, 1 and 2. I mean, yes, Brady is mostly.
Vinatieri actually was pretty big in that game too, by the way.
And Vinatieri, but again, Bill was coaching the entire group, and it's interesting is that in those days, we used to praise them because of their preparedness and all of them not making stupid mistakes. Those came in the later years, but just how well coached his teams were, and they were extremely well coached in understanding what to do and not to do in certain situations. And again, that goes back to Belichick, or doing strange things in games that wound up paying off. The game against the Ravens, where they had an offensive lineman to, go out for a pass, and just
eligible.
Right, tackle eligible.
Is that Vrabel by any chance?
No. not then, but he had Vrabel catching passes.
10 of them.
So, what's that?
10 of them.
All 10 touchdowns. So it's, I guess, what a long-winded way of saying it's a shame because, Bill was a part and parcel of all of those championships. And I think it's at the point where, again, his legacy is taking a hit.
Yep. Well, question.
Mm.
Bob, what do you?
I just want to say you were great today. I mean, really, I'm really.
Today? What do you mean today? She's always great.
I know, but this is, it's.
Aren't I your favorite guest? Don't I have like the most times on award or something like that?
You and Shaughnessy are neck and neck, actually, right there.
Ooh, all right.
You're up there with the high-powered stuff.
Okay.
And we should tell all our listeners, if you see a slick-looking camper going cross-country with four brothers, it's Karen's at the wheel, and the May brothers, who probably could pretty good competition for the Gronkowski brothers.
True.
That would be a fun trip.
Well, Parcells wouldn't be a bad trip.
Parcells
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well, we're not trying to talk you out of what you want to do.
No, she made her decision.
I did.
Okay, this is a really bad question to ask so late in the show, but the chance of the way women's sports are allowed, women reporters are allowed to cover, and how different the climate's been since when you started and where it is now. In 10 words, in 30 seconds.
It's just evolved. I mean, when I started, I wasn't the first. Other women had sort of paved the way to, do the locker room deal because that's how you have to cover a team. And the rules have changed for the better. And there's more acceptance of it. And that doesn't mean people like it. Still, there's still, and I get it. I understand it. But no one has come up with a better way for women to interview athletes on the same playing field as male reporters. So it is what it is.
We remember probably back to '83 or '84, the Celtics were really upset that Jackie and Leslie Visser and other women had to come in, that they bought them all bathrobes, and they had to wait until they at least put the bathrobe on before they came in. And that was a pretty simple solution,
right,
to a burning issue of the times.
Yep.
Well, there are other examples. Lisa Olson, Alice Cook. I mean, she was harassed by the Patriots. Raymond Berry made him apologize. The Lisa Olson thing was an amazing debacle that I'll never forget. That walk she took in front of the fans. I'll never forget. It was in the end zone. I don't want to get into it now, but I just really wanted to ask you that question, Karen.
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate in that in 40 years or so, I really haven't had anything to the level of Lisa Olson or some other. I mean, there's been some silly things and stupid things, but mostly it's been it's been a better workplace, with guys putting robes on, towels on, et cetera, and recognizing that it's probably a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
You were great today.
The great Karen Guregian.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on. Two legends.
No.
Right there, those two.
You're the legend. We're only the.
Look at that. Those awesome statues. Love it.
Yeah. But we're not going to get any around here, so thank you.
All right, Karen, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for sharing that story about Harry.
I'll take you two in the RV. How's that?
Oh, would love it.
That would be great. I have to drive.
Thank you for letting me share the Harrison story.
It was
great story.
Thank you for doing that.
Yep. It was awesome.
Mm.
All right, Karen. Karen was great. She's the best. Make sure that you follow us on unanchoredboston.com, and you can follow us and watch us on YouTube anytime. So YouTube, there's no excuses. We'll see you all next week, everybody.